Well, welcome back to the Bottom Line Garage. It's a nice and hot sunny day in Adelaide. In today's episode, we are going to continue dismantling the bits and the bobs from the head. I have totally underestimated the amount of brackets and stuff I still need to take off. Hopefully, we'll get to take the head off today. I'm extremely excited to see if we can get to see which piston decided to exit the chat. In the previous episode, I forgot about Spanner. He's been silent for far too long and he keeps on falling over. Lazy little bastard. Today we're going to make him work. So we're going to start by taking off the timing cover. In the boring bits, I'm going to put you on hyperlapse so you don't get bored, fall asleep by me taking off size 8 bolts. I'll see you after a bit of hyperlapse. As you can see from the hyperlapse video, I've ran into a bit of a snafu. By just turning this nut, I can't get it loose with my little ugga-dugga, and putting a breaker bar to it just spins this flywheel around as there's no compression. I can do this with my hand. I thought I could put in some bolts into what I think is the high compression fuel pump, but I've just bent it, as you can see. I've bent the bolt already and I almost broke my screwdriver. I honestly don't know at this stage how am I going to get these 3 bolts loose. I'm assuming they are lefty loosey. The only bolt here that I think is right lefty tighty is this bolt, but I don't want to take it off. It's my only leverage I currently have. I'm going to see if I can make a bracket somehow from a bit of flat bar. See if I can put some pressure on it. See if I can link it here, put it down to this pulley, and see if I can hold down the crank to get these 3 bolts loose. Be back in a jiffy. Just a quick flat bar. Bolt through it, holds against this one. And then before I get slammed in the comments, if I ever wanted to rebuild this engine, I would have bought the right tools. Let's see if this fucking thing comes off now. Come on, you little shit. Welcome back to the Bottom Line Garage, where a 2-minute job turns out to be a 5 to 6 day fucking business experience. So we ended up breaking a bolt and dropped into the casing. As I mentioned, luckily I'm not rebuilding this engine, but getting those 3 pulley bolts out turns out to be quite the experience. Fuck it. Let's take this off and see what happens. I am not going to get that bolt out. Without that leverage, this thing is just going to spin around. Damn it. I got one bolt to crack, but it's not coming out. There we go. One out. The other 2 is not moving, not budging at all. Excellent. Let's see if this last one can budge. Oh, this is awesome. Fantastic stuff. It's definitely bent, and I would not recommend reusing this cover. Nothing's broken, nothing jumped out, nothing fell apart, but we never suspected that it's going to be the timing chain that caused the engine failure. There's one little broken bolt that broke off that side when I tried to take off the pulley bolts. Anyway, next step is taking off this so I can get the cams out, so I can get the heads out, and then I have to take, one head. It splits between these two. This looks like an aluminium head. Let me finish taking off the brackets, timing chain, and then some of the cradles holding the camshaft in place, and then I should be able to take the head off. Radio. I think I've got everything dismantled, all of the brackets. The only thing holding the head still on is the camshaft cradle. There's a couple of them I had to take off. And then the head bolts. For those that are interested, I think I found the cam position sensor if you ever wanted to replace that. This is on the intake side. And then on the exhaust side, nothing spectacular. We'll have little spanner the man, keep a watchful eye, so I don't fucking strip more bolts. With some oil. I must remember somewhere there's still a circlip lying around. Let's take off that last little bolt. Where is it? Oh, fuck, you can't see it. Let you move you out a bit. There we go. It would be that little bolt that's holding head on. Size 8, I think. Yep. Mr. Spanner, keeping an eye on you. Where can I tappy tap? Ah, there we go. Tappy tap. Come on. There we go. Let's see the moment of truth. Just check whether you can see what I can see. Yep, you've got a good angle. Here we go. Okay, that's the head gasket. Not too concerned there. There was no overheating or water leakage. And from what I can see, did not have injector failure. All of the pistons are intact. We'll do a quick inspection of all of the cylinders and see if there's any scoring. This is piston number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is allegedly, there's a bit of piston slap there, a bit of piston movement there, no piston movement there, no piston movement there. I can't get to the rest. Alrighty, so I'm just going to cycle through the pistons quickly, see if I can see something in terms of piston slap or significant markings or groovings in the cylinder walls. I had a quick look off camera. If this is piston 3, like I said it is, I can't feel any grooves. I can see some grooves. I'll bring the camera around. I'm just going to run through. There's some grooving in piston 2 on this side. I can't feel any marks. There's some grooving on this. No grooving on piston 5. Small grooving. Light grooving there. No, it's not grooves. Scoring marks. I don't know what to call it. I can't see from the cylinder walls or the pistons. Piston number 3 is certainly the most scoring, but it's not like it's gouging marks. It's just does feel a bit rough around the edges, but in terms of piston slap, all the pistons got a bit of movement in them. I don't know if it's normal, but if all of them does it, I'm assuming it's normal. Let me bring it around. Get some light in cylinder 3. Okay, just trying to show you the light scoring marks in cylinder 3 chamber. Some markings, chamber number 2, chamber number 1. Nothing drastic in chamber number 4. Just move piston 5 out the way. There's almost no scoring in cylinder number 5. Radio, this has been an exciting part of the journey. Finally got to take the head off. I'm just happy that we were able to take the bolts out without monumentally stripping something out. As you can see, I don't think top side is not the problem. We're gonna, in the next episode, turn this engine upside down, open up some cranks. Just a quick shout out to my wife that's been stuck with me working on engines and getting oil out of my clothes since 1998. And then also a quick shout out to my daughter that passed her bachelor's in visual effects a couple of weeks ago. And she's unfortunately stuck with making all of these videos make sense and watchable with all of the outtakes and redos. And then also a quick shout out to my son. We met up last week in Sydney for a quick catch up. He's touring around the world and we don't see him a lot. So that was quite fun. Until the next episode, goodbye from the Bottom Line Garage. Cheers. Radio test 1, 2, 3. Let's see if my head is in this picture. Fuck's sakes. Fuck. Okay, radio. Fuck. The stuff I can lean against is certainly becoming less and less. Redo. Fuck. The pistons would have been all fucked up. Just a quick shout out to my wife. They dropped everything to come hold me. Hold me. Take 356.